All right, so now we've seen how we can access the Premium Share menu by clicking the blue words Premium Share and can choose our strategy in the drop-down. So we've looked at employer and employee percentage. Let's go ahead and look at employer fixed dollar. So now we're going to go ahead and let's use the shortcut box at the top and put in $300, representing an employer contribution of $300 now. Notice since we've chosen employer fixed dollar that that's the column that we're able to edit. So we're going to apply the $300 to each enrollment type. So we're simply taking the actual premium and subtracting out the employer dollar contribution for that enrollment type. Now, just like percentages, we can enter in fields at the enrollment type level. So if we want to do an employer contribution of $300 for singles and $600 for families, we can go over here and we can enter in those new amounts for each enrollment type. And again, whenever we enter that, we're going to see not only the premium breakdown update, but the plan design cost as well. Now remember, we don't have a plan group cost because we're in combined enrollment. But if we come out of combined enrollment, we can go back to our enrollment types and see how those costs look through enrollment counts. But again, we're in show combined enrollment, so we can see where the overall cost of that plan with that contribution strategy is in relation to the budget. So just like percentage, we can solve to budget in a fixed dollar mode. So now when I click on solve to budget, you'll notice that again, that the new values are trying to maintain what was already there. So you can see that we've got, again, the same values, the same dollar contribution for families, and we tried to get as close as we could to twice the contribution in families and singles and still be exactly at our budget amount. So again, whether we're using a fixed dollar across the board or whether we're using a different employer contribution by enrollment type, we can still solve to budget. Now, one thing to keep in mind, let's say we want to put in a $500 a month employer contribution to each enrollment type. I want you to notice that when we try and force that in, the plan designer will not let us contribute a dollar amount that is greater than the actual premium for that plan. So when we look at this plan design cost, that is a $500 contribution towards each of the families, but it's represented as the total single premium. So in other words, it won't let us overstate that contribution if it's higher than the actual premium. So again, this is working with employer fixed dollar. We can come into premium share and go to employee fixed dollar. So if we wanted to work on it in terms of what the employees are paying monthly right now, we could go ahead and look at it from that perspective as well. So again, we've got our premium share. I'm going to go to employer fixed dollar. All right, and we're going to go ahead and solve to budget one more time. And you'll notice that we can't get past that $100 or that 100% contribution for that employer cost. So let's just go ahead and put in $250 for singles, $500 for families, and then I'm going to click apply to all enrollment types. All right, and now when we go back and solve to budget, we're able to get back to our budget number with that same methodology in place. So now we've seen how to work with percentages, how to work with fixed dollars, both from employer and employee perspective. And again, we want to get you familiar with the function and what happens when we click on solve to budget. Also remember that whenever we solve the budget, we go into combined enrollment, so we don't see our plan group cost. Again, we can uncheck show combined enrollment and get right back to our plan design cost. And we're going to click back to plan design where we can go in and see what the impact of that contribution strategy looks like for not only the employer cost, but the employees as well.